So yes, you've got questions, and the Stalker 2 dev team has a ton of answers because today the devs got busy and responded to those questions about the future of the game, upcoming patches, and much more. We're diving into all of this, plus one feature that is persistent throughout the entire game that you're constantly engaging with, and we're finally talking about it today, plus one invaluable tip that we've got to talk about, and much more. So yes, let's dive in. And I want to start here because I love to see, and let me know if you agree with this or not, by the way. Check it out. The director of Dishonored 1 and Prey 2017 has some words. He says this: Stalker 2 is not perfect, but it's my game of the year. The atmosphere, the brutality of the world, the survival, the free-form exploration. Last game I enjoyed before this was Baldur's Gate 3. And this got 4,400 upvotes. And yeah, Dishonored 1 was goated. So to see this type of compliment from him is huge. And I gotta agree, this is becoming my game of the year. You know, time and time again, I always just want to go back into Stalker 2, even when I'm covering other games. All I'm thinking about right now, honestly, guys, is just Stalker 2. Even with its problems, it's pulling me back in constantly. But check this out. We got a bunch of replies from the dev team that we're going to go over, so let's do this. Starting out with this one right here. Any plans to reevaluate weapon balance? Weapons like the RPG and Gauss rifle feel really underwhelming, especially compared to previous games. Also, it's odd but the guns of the same bullet caliber have different penetrations and damage stats, making using guns like the AKM in the endgame much less viable than the previous games, in my opinion. And the response is this right here. We have some discussion about the balance of the endgame weapons. We would really want them to be cool, shiny toys for the endgame, so some changes are possible. So you're telling me we might be getting some buffs then? I would honestly expect that to be happening to some of your favorite weapons. And I know there's some weapons that are actually missing in the rotation compared to like Gamma and Anomaly that you guys would like to see. So be sure to sound off. What weapons would you like to see added to the game, even if they're considered like nostalgic old type weapons from the previous games, or all new weapons that you would like to see added? I gotta say, I just like my trusty MP5. And despite the recent adjustments to repair costs, some players are still not happy about it. So this was the question right here. Have repair costs been discussed? Are they tied to difficulty 2 or no? Will they maybe be lowered without the use of mods? Thank you. The response is an interesting one. It says, yeah, we were discussing them and maybe will reevaluate at some point. Now we are checking how the fix of mutant health and sell prices impacted the economy. As always, we are also looking at the player-based feedback. In-game economy is not in set and forget state, and we are approaching the changes carefully. So the recent patch was definitely a step in the right direction when it comes to the economy, but it seems like more needs to be done. Sound off what you guys would like to see from repair costs. Of course, I still feel like that they got to be careful. They still very much need to keep the game its own thing, where it does offer up its own challenges and not make it too easy overall. That's my biggest concern right now, is they start like nerfing things, I suppose you would say. And yeah, the experience changes so much that the game evolves into something completely different. So I think they do need to be a little bit careful with that, of course. But yeah, how are you guys feeling about repair costs right now? And the next question is definitely a good one. Are the updates scheduled, or are they released in random intervals? And the response is this: our priority is to get important fixes as soon as possible. Yeah, you know, again, I was surprised that update 102 was out so soon, so immediately after the first initial patch. So I wouldn't be surprised if something dropped like sometime this week. So it seems like they're going after anything that is blocking your progression first and foremost and getting that nailed down. And optimization of the zone is always a very important topic here, because one of the most annoying things that I have found is actually how the world streams, especially if you are in town and then go outside of town. You can definitely feel that jitter. It is very annoying. So let's get into the question here. So here we have it. What are your plans to optimize the game during its lifespan to make sure everyone has a smooth enough experience where they can enjoy the zone without too many hiccups? Here's the response. We are still working on future improvements for the zone experience, optimization fixes included. And yeah, it is a very generic response, but I know you guys want some reassurances when it comes to future optimization, because this game definitely needs it badly. And loads of gamers are having trouble playing in Zalcy after Monolith attacks it. Any news when it will be fixed? Here's the response. Working on additional fixes for this quest. Unfortunately, no ETA on that one, which is a total bummer, but we really do need that fix out soon. I've heard so many complaints about this particular bug. It is a bummer that it was not fixed and addressed in that first hotfix. I'm crossing my fingers that this one is addressed by the end of this week, we'll see. And let me tell you what, this game has so many weird bugs sometimes, including this one right here. Check it out. Are you aware of the bug where you randomly get weapons spawned in your inventory? And here's the response. Yeah, trying to solve this issue in future hotfix patches. Now that one has actually happened to me, and it is just beyond weird when it happens. So it throws you kind of out of the immersion, of course, and they definitely need to get that one addressed. But hey, they're working on it. And we talked briefly about the armor system in the game in my previous video, how yes, you have your helmet and then your body armor, and they are two very separate systems. They don't kind of stack on top of each other. And we got this follow-up question about this right here. It says, I can understand that armor protects body and helmet the head. How is that with full suits? Especially anomaly protection, my brain gets very confused. And the response is this right here. Full suits protect them both. So yeah, if you're wondering if you have any head protection with a full suit, you actually do. And we also got some indication as to what is being fixed in the next hotfix. This question leading into that, after picking up the artifact Weird Bolt, the game crashes after the mission starts. Will there be a fix? I already lost a save before I picked it up. The problem is common. Here's the response. The fix is cooking to be ready for the next hotfixes working on it. So the turnaround on this one looks like it's going to be pretty immediate. And players are finally discussing, guess what, the loot in the game and the loot system. And we got to talk about it right here. Here we go. Everyone constantly keeps saying about absence of a life, but there's also a big problem is the loot. So let me know if you guys feel this way or not. I mean, I like looting, but every time I open stashes, looted soldiers, break some containers, etc., the game always gives me the exact three things: food, bandage, and first aid or radiation syringe. I don't even use radiation because of suit and artifacts. It's okay, but where are the schemes of armors, weapons, or something else I don't know? I found some of them, but it was already in parts of the game. Most of the stashes contain crap. I mean, it's hard to get up there to get that stash, and it gives you some bandages or something else, especially weapon parts. I just found some suppressors for pistols and nothing else. I had to buy most of the weapon parts. And after all the looting, I don't want to drop them because I need coupons for repair. I was going back to the base with 70 bandages, 30 radiation syringes, and whatever absurd things come to mind. I think we should be more often find some good loot while traveling the zone. It's a fun part, guys. We're all loot addicts, and we would like to see some good loot. And he clarifies here in these PS statements that it's not like he wants loot to be overabundant. He just wants like good quality loot. However, this is not a looter shooter at all. In fact, I kind of like how rare some of the high quality pieces are. It makes seeking them out even more intense and important in this game in particular, and I kind of like that. And the abundance or lack thereof when it comes to loot might be down to difficulty as well. But we're dealing with a very post-apocalyptic survival type game here, and if you're expecting to loot a weapon that is green, completely repaired, and in pristine condition, well, good luck. Part of the fun of this game is running into that sort of weapon, and it's super rare, and you go, oh my god, this weapon's in mint condition. Wow, I hit the jackpot. But then again, some of you feel like most stashes are underwhelming. There's really good stashes out there though, and quite a few stashes have a good weapon or armor lying beside it. I love the ones that describe the stash as a stalker being able to retire, etc., but it's just a bit of food and some bandages. I also feel like there's some hardcore trolling going on here. And I gotta say, someone did bring up a really good point right here. You can find a lot of guns, attachments, and armors hidden away all over the map, but I would like to see more stuff on dead stalkers. Nobody has attachments on their guns, no artifact in their inventory, no detectors. Would be nice if we could steal their coupons off their PDA or rarely find a blueprint or maybe a full durability gun with 1 or 2 mods on the people we kill. And it goes back to the fact that you see some of these guys with full-blown decked out night vision goggles, and you can't utilize any of the stuff that's on them. So yeah, I do agree with that whatever you see that they might have, and there's an indication that this is a really well-off soldier or what have you, and they know what they're doing, you kind of might expect them to have a really good weapon or something more valuable than maybe what you would see from some straggler out there trying to survive on their own. And by the way, this is a fantastic tip. Check your suit belts. These special lead container slots keep artifact radiation away without taking the positive benefits. And we got some details about this as I rocked a legendary artifact on this. Got all the positive benefits without the radiation drawback. Extra note, you can install this upgrade to some suits in the technician it doesn't explain what it does very well. Keep in mind, it is quite expensive. And someone also noted, also some suits let you add one lead container, but will require a blueprint for the second one. And once again, I'm beyond impressed by the staying power of Stalker 2. Check it out. We have 63,000 players on right now. But man, during the weekend, we got up to about like 93,000 players, which is super impressive. So this game is still going very, very strong. And in fact, more recently, it's entered into the top 10 of the most played games on Steam. It's with some of the best games out there, some of the biggest heavy hitters. And now it's time to check out what you guys had to say about my most recent Stalker video, so let's do this. All right, the swamps caused me to lose my shit last night, over encumbered, out of energy drinks, and stuck in 3 feet of sludge. Not my idea of fun. Yeah, the swamplands are an absolute nightmare, as also indicated by this post out on Reddit. Can we all agree the swamp section of the game is the worst part of the game? I died so many times and moved so slowly through this pain in the ass section. Yeah, good luck. But life is not supposed to be easy, is it? And I'm not going to sit here and say that this area needs to be nerfed or adjusted at all. It's supposed to be a very challenging area. However, I give it over to you guys. Do you think there needs to be adjustments to the swamp area, or do you like how dangerous it feels? Or is it just more annoying? And in my previous video, I highlighted a comment from a dude that kind of went on a rant about, hey, it was a mistake that they went completely open world with this game. And we have a top comment about this. It says, hugely disagree, or highly disagree, I should say, with the open world was a mistake, guy. And yeah, I think that this game has actually made the right decision by going open world. It feels great. Some of the complaints were that, you know, it feels too empty, that there's too much downtime walking between things. And I think that, again, like I said in my previous video, builds up the intensity and really helps out with the pace of the game. When you actually finally run into a bloodsucker or something like that, you really feel the intensity for sure, especially if you're playing on those higher difficulties. And it seems like a lot of you guys share the same sentiment as me. Check it out. It says, totally agree with exploration not being rewarding. I found so many unique named guns from exploring. That feels super awesome. And there's like a lot of journals and stuff you could pick up that give you good indication that there is like a really nice stash around the corner, but you might be facing some sort of challenge to get to that stash. That's the sort of thing that I really do love. And it doesn't always pan out, but that's how life is. It doesn't always pan out, you know? It's a cruel, unrelenting world that's always trying to kill you. But there it is, the latest happenings around Stalker 2. As always, I'm going to keep you guys in the know about what's going on with this one. Look out for more Path of Exile 2 videos as well. Cannot wait for that one to release. I'm counting down the days for that one over here. But thank you so much for the love and support on the videos, and I will see you all next time. Take care.